everybody and welcome back to my channel and to my Vlogmas. This is day 4. So how are we all today? Now the weather here is horrendous today. It hasn't stopped raining, really heavy, really windy, and it's just dark and really miserable. So I'm so glad that we managed to get the walking with Mum yesterday. Thank you for all your comments. I will pass them on to her. Now, I do have a couple of notes. Angie Rooker, you left a lovely comment, but I don't know, I can't actually reply to it online. So I have seen your comment, thank you, but I can't seem to reply to you. So thank you very much. And I just want to say get well soon to Katia. Have I said that right? Just let me know. So I hope you're feeling better soon. Now the candle that I have just lit is vanilla French toast and it smells just beautiful. It's making me feel really hungry. So today I am going to give you just a little tutorial to make the lovely jar cover. Now, not to turn it into a lantern, although if you do see in the distance there, it's the cover that goes over the top. So, and I have put a little candle, obviously it's not a real candle because that wouldn't work. I've turned mine into a little lantern just for today. But what it does, if you make these little covers, you can make them in minutes literally. And if you've got a jar of something a little bit boring, it turns it into a present. Okay, so I've added one of those to my hamper and we're going to pop over to that tutorial now. So I'm going to make a cover exactly the same as this one, but I want it to fit this jar here, this lovely jar full of sweets. So you are going to need 2 pieces of fabric cut out in the round. Now these are 7 inches in diameter, which is about 18 centimetres, and I have literally just used an upside down bowl as my master, and I've just drawn around and cut out 2 pieces. Now I have cut out my fabric using my pinking shears. Now this is just to show you as an example. If you really didn't want to sew these at all, if you use your pinking shears round here, which stops your fabric from fraying, you could also just cover your jar like that as well, put a nice ribbon around. But I'm going to show you how to do these by sewing them together. You're going to need some pins. You're going to need maybe an elastic band to hold it onto your jar, with maybe some string as decoration or some ribbon. So let's get going. So we're going to start by putting our fabric pieces right sides together. Now I'm going to pop just a few pins around the outside, just hold that in place. Now this is very quick and easy. What we're going to do is, using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, we are going to sew around the outside, but you need to leave a gap of say 2 inches. So if you leave a 2 inch gap here, and that's how we're going to turn this the right way round. So if you go ahead and just sew 1/4 inch all the way around the outside. So as always, when I start off, I go forward a couple of stitches and then back before I start off, and then that just knots it off nicely. So just take your time. You're just going to, with your hand here, just gently move this around. You can adjust if needs be. So just gently turn that around. Now I'm using my 1/4 inch mark here. So I want to keep it the same all the way around. So I'm around, I've stopped at about 2 inches from where I started. I'm going to go back, forward and then back again, just to knock that off. And that's the sewing done. So now what I'm going to do also is, well, I'm using pinking shears, but you can just use your normal fabric scissors, is I'm just going to trim up any bulk all the way around. Try and get close to those stitches, but don't touch the stitches. You don't want to cut through what you've just done. So I tend to trim all the way around, apart from where I've left this little turning gap, because when we turn it the right way round, we need these bits to fold inwards. So I tend to leave them there. And now what we want to do is to turn this the right way round. So just do this nice and gently, using your fingers. So once it's started, it tends to come through. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is just use something, not scissors. Don't use scissors. I'm just going to use a pen that I haven't, the nib's not out, look. Or you can use a pencil. Or you can use a crochet hook or a knitting needle, something like that, just to turn it out. But as I say, I wouldn't use scissors because I've done this with scissors before and sometimes you end up with a hole in your work. Okay, so what I'm now going to do is, now this is turned out, is I'm going to give it a bit of a press. Now this hole here, you see, you need to tuck these pieces inside. You may need to just manipulate a little bit with your fingers so that it keeps a nice round shape on the outside. Now I'm going to just press this flat. So I've pressed this flat. I've pressed this so that the where the gap is, that's all folded inwards nicely. I've marked that with a pin. Okay, and then what we're going to do now is just put a row of top stitching all the way around. And now all there is to do is just position it on your jar. And then I'm going to put an elastic band around to hold it in place. Okay, and then you can sort of like fiddle around with it so it's in the right position and it's even all the way around. And then what I'm going to do is I'm over top of that elastic band going to tie a piece of string. Oops. So then that string covers the elastic band, but it's just handy to have there, so that it keeps the cover in place while you're having a play with your decoration. So there you go, a very quick and simple way of prettying up some jars. So you could turn a jar of pickle or jam into a nice little gift, and it's all done in moments. So there you go, nice, very quick and easy to do. Now a few of these sweets have gone missing in the process of filming that tutorial. That's one of my perks. Now also this evening what I'm going to do is put my garland together. So if you've been making either my trees or my stars, candy canes, What else did I make? The little hats, the tiny little ones. What I'm going to do with mine this evening is I'm going to string them all together. So I just talk you through that in this little video here. So I'm going to use some of this finer yarn. This is a 4-ply, or you could use embroidery thread or just some string or whatever you want to use. I'm going to use this lovely red colour. So before I start to thread together, I'm just going to lay my garland out so I can just get an idea of where I want things to be. So what I've done is measure where I want this to hang, which is on a shelf in the front room downstairs. Now I think I've got too many things, so I've got some trees and snowflakes and some stars left over, so I may just use them as decorations or as tags for my parcels. So you will notice that I have a large star in the middle. Now what I've done here is this is 2 strands of chunky, and I used a 6mm. I added one of my DK weight stars on the front. Look, I've just sewn the corners in because I blocked this. So I've sewn, not the corners, the points in. Okay, and then I did do a border, which was very similar to what I did on the Christmas trees. Okay, I put a border round of just double crochet, it's US single crochet. In each point here, I did 2 doubles, a chain of 2, and 2 doubles. And then, as I say, because I block them and pull these out with my pins, they stay nice and pointy. Now the holly, I'm not overly sure I like. It's not quite the right colour, but I haven't got any dark green yarn. This is actually following a pattern by Attic24. So what I'll do is I'll link her web page down below in the comments. Also, you will see that I did some snowflakes as well, and again that's Attic24. So if you look in the comments just down below, I did white ones there. Okay, it's very easy pattern to follow, and again I do block these out so that they keep their shape. Now the stars, the little hats, the trees and the candy canes can all be found on my channel. I will link those tutorials down below. And you could also, if you have enough spaces, you could add some ribbon, and I'm going to add some pom-poms as well. So that's what I'm going to be doing this evening, but I just find it's useful to have it all set out in the order you want to thread it all up, and you can just see, so you haven't got the same things sort of all clumped together. Okay, so you want to share out your stars, etc. Okay, and I will show you my finished article tomorrow. So that's going to keep me busy this evening. So I most really put a Christmas film on. I'm certainly not going outside. Or I'll catch up with Kirsty on her handmade Christmas. I'm loving those. So tomorrow I'll be going to work in Stenning. I don't know if I'm going to do any filming tomorrow. The weather is meant to be horrible, so I may leave that until next week. But you will see the finished garland in situ tomorrow. I'll be decorating my tree over the weekend, and I believe I've got a book coming tomorrow, so I might do a little review of that as well for you. So wherever you are, whatever you are doing, I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're staying dry. And I will see you here again tomorrow. Bye-bye.